Well, it's really cold here in Pennsylvania today. It's like 19 and the real feel is like 10, and it's like 4:15 on Friday, February, I don't know what the date is today, but it's early February. Actually, it's February 3rd because yesterday was Groundhog Day, and after he saw his shadow, a bunch of us decided we're going to go groundhog hunting. But anyway, I figured this is a good day to work down at the bench, and I got actually quite a bit done. I got a lot of paint drying again, and I thought I'm going to try, or I'm going to not try, but I'm going to start assembling the front suspension on the 41 Plymouth. Now the rear had been done, and you can see I have the axle with the inner wheels in. In order to do that, though, I had to drill a little bit out because the way this was set up, and let me see if I can pull these off of here. I think I can. They're not glued on. There we go. The way this was set up was this kit could be built as a custom or as a a standard vehicle. So there are two areas where I could adjust the axle height. So since I'm doing so I could not just the axle height, but the whole ride height on it. So because I'm doing the standard version of it, I wanted to use this hole here, and this axle cover and differential, the way it glues in here, it restricts this hole. It restricts this hole. So I had to take a drill and just lightly drill out the excess material. Not a big problem, but I just wanted to let you know that in case you're building this, and as the standard edition, you may have to drill that out just a little. I just ran with my pin vise. I just ran a drill in there. Just very very lightly. Just I didn't want to like go too far in, but I wanted to just open up the hole where the plastic of the outer axle covering was a little bit blocked over the hole. So that's that. But I do got to tell you, this front end suspension is not hard to it's not difficult, it's not complicated, but I'll tell you what, for a 68-year-old man, it's not going to be easy because there's a lot of tiny little parts. And what I found was that this A-frame, this lower A-frame, that's not the problem. It goes in there very nicely. It mounts in this little tiny hole over here. Oops, I'm off camera. This tiny little hole. And then there's a groove there that goes in there very nicely because there's a pin on there which goes in that hole. So that's not a problem. The spring then gets mounted up inside there. The big deal is these little tiny spindles. To get these spindles in is going to be interesting because the spindles get mounted such that and this is so tiny, such that the axle goes, let me get one without the wheel on it. Oh. Such that the axle goes through this hole all the way through, and then when they're mounted, and they're mounted in these two little groove things here, when they're mounted, then the steering, the tie rod gets mounted in here. So you got to make sure you have these on the axle the correct way, because there is a small, I'm looking for it here now, there's like a small little half curve in there that this mounts in, so that this will then the tie rod will then mount in there. I know this is impossible to see, but again, the tie rod mounts in there. So to get all that held together in a way that the axle can get through, and this is lined up properly. Again, as a 68-year-old guy and a little bit shaky, I'm having my hands full. One of the things I did was I took a little bit of tape and I made some double-sided tape, and I stuck that down in the hole for the spring there, and also in the holes, the spring holes on the A-frames. That'll at least hold that spring in place so it doesn't go popping out on me. So I'm gonna continue working on this to get this thing together. The engine is all finished for it. I have the air cleaner on it. I have the wiring done. I made a I noticed that a lot of them had this wire organizer, and all I did was I took a piece of styrene and cut the shape out of it and ran the wiring through. I wanted to make the little tubes that it goes through, but the scale is just not right. It would have looked really crazy. So it's just a flat plate with the wires glued underneath it. So that's all done. This engine's ready to go. So it's getting ready to mount in there. I'm going to be using these wheels because this is really what the 41 Plymouth wheels looked like, the hubcap and little hub. The chrome is okay, but I think I'm going to strip it, and because I'm trying a lot of different new techniques in this build, I'm going to get some Alclad chrome and try re-chroming them, because it does look toyish. You know, it does look like a toy a little bit, but other than that, I mean, it's not real bad. But it's me. I just want to try Alclad anyway. So I'll be doing that, and then I got a coat of primer on the body. So I got a coat of primer on the body. I need to now sand it because it got really rough on me, and there was some roughness that maybe you can hear it on the roof here. So I'm going to wet sand this and get another coat on it, another coat of primer on it. I did decide to use the Tamiya, I think it's called navy blue. No, it's actually not. Sorry, I walked away. It's the Tamiya X3 X3 Royal Blue. So this is what I'm going to do the body in, and that is really, really close to the blue that the Ford or the Plymouth was actually done in. The Plymouth had a factory color of you know, I think it was called marine blue. Please don't quote me on that. And I'm looking here for, I don't ever script these videos, so that's why I'm all over the place. But that's what makes it fun. Writing a script would be too much like work. This is a hobby. It's called Chevron Blue. It's this one right here. And I know on camera it may not look the same, but boy, I thought it was the closest I could find. I thought that was the closest I could find. And again, on camera, it may not look like it does on here, but also the marine blue, which was another one. So either way, I got it covered as far as matching about what the factory blue would be. This also matches the Jay Leno has a 41 that he restored, or at least he had somebody restore for him, but it's done in blue also, and I'll put a picture of it later on in this video, or toward the end of the video. So anyway, and boy, I'll tell you, for the Tamiya acrylic paint, that's got quite a shine on it, and I didn't do anything. That's right out of the air gun, or out of the airbrush. I did not clear coat it. I did not polish it. That's right out of the airbrush. The Tamiya paints, they work really nice. The acrylics work really nice. I'm happy with them. Just a little bit of thinner with them, and boy, they lay down really, really nice. So anyway, let me get back to this front end and this front suspension, and I will be back shortly. Hi, welcome back. It's been about 24 hours since that last little clip you saw in the beginning, and since then I have the chassis and frame, I think, finished. I mean, I still have to mount the radiator in there, but again, paint's drying, so we'll get that in there. That's no problem, and I got some radiator hoses in to add to it. So I did get this chassis finished. I had to take some time and actually clean up my messy shop, because I could not find the muffler tailpipe, but I did find it. It was in a box. I've been trying to stay organized because this is the first time I've ever done two models at the same time, and I gotta tell you, I probably will never do it again. I'm a slow builder, like I've always said. I'm a slow builder to begin with, but doing two is even slowing me down more. So I did get this front end together, the front suspension together. It wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be, just with the A-frames and the spindles that are on there. And I don't know if it's easy to see because I can't really see. I got the shocks mounted in, and I painted them white. I wasn't sure what color shocks were back in 41, but I got those white. So everything's on there. I put the sway bar on, which is right here. So the sway bar's on it, the engine's mounted, the spark plug wires are installed, the tailpipe's installed. Everything's pretty much ready to go for the 41 Plymouth. I will be painting the body and choosing an interior color and doing some interior work during the week. So, man, I'd like to wrap up these two projects, within the next week or so. I also got the fenders painted for the 41 Chevy Pickup. I got a little bit, just a little bit of orange peeling right in here. I'm just going to let it go for now. I might try to buff it out, but or put another coat on, but at this point, I'm thinking it's looking pretty good. And I'll tell you again, this Tamiya paint, the acrylic, this is right out of the airbrush. I haven't done anything to this paint, just right out of the airbrush. So there's not a lot to show on there other than the fact that it's painted. This cross member comes out. I was already investigating about the bed and the woodness, the wooden bed on it. I will be doing the body in this color gray, and that is a Tamiya Dark Sky Gray. That's Dark Sky Gray XF54, and this is again acrylic, and this test spoon again is right out of the airbrush. I didn't do anything to it at all. It's what you see is what came out of the airbrush. So I think that's a really kind of nice match to the black. So the cab and the bed sides and tailgates and stuff will be that gray. And again, it's dark sea gray. So I think that's going to look good. And the body's actually ready to go. It's ready for paint. I'm just about there. I think, like I said, I think in about another week we'll be good. So today is Saturday. It's February the 4th, I think it is. 4th or 5th, whatever. Doesn't matter. Tuesday, I'm going to lose because I've got jury duty. They caught me. I used to be able to get out of it when I was working, but now I don't have an excuse, and I shouldn't. It's my civic duty. So I'll do it. And, you know, it could be I'll be just sitting around all day doing nothing. And hopefully when I call in at the evening before, they won't even need me, because that'll give me another day at the bench. So, hey, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, because that's all I've got to say for now. All right, hey, see you later. Talk to you soon. Bye. I want to thank you all for watching, and if you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, you can give it a thumbs down, but, you know, I would prefer a thumbs up. And do me a favor, if you really liked it, smack that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when I release new videos, give that bell a ring and set it to all. I don't release a lot of videos, so I won't be bugging you that much. Anyway, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.